Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Mugs and Mikes podcast. I am Zeke, your host, but you already know that, and I cannot do this alone. I brought my friends with me. I brought Nomad.
Hey. So.
I brought Hack.
Hello. How's everyone?
And I brought GameCubeDude.
If Hack doesn't finish the thumbnail for this episode in time, can we use the meme of Sans saying "hoes mad"?
I was hoping that no one would use that to date this episode.
Oh, are you kidding me? Undertale is eternal.
That's why I said get all your Sans stuff out before the recording.
No, Sans just came out for Smash today. You're going to be hearing about this for like a good rest of your life from me.
From the time of this recording.
Oh my lord.
You'll come back as a ghost and haunt you. Talking
No,
about
I'll come back as
Sans.
a skeleton and haunt you.
Oh, true. Are you going to be wearing a hoodie?
Probably. I own a couple of them.
You gotta be careful though, because you might get canceled if you do that.
Nah, nobody can cancel Sans. They'll just blow them away.
Anyway, so we are making this episode as more like a response to the recent information brought out by ProJared. And also, there were other things we wanted to talk about as well. We felt it kind of ties all together. So we're going to start with the ProJared response. Luke, do you want to lead us off?
I mean, what can I say except I think he's proven he's completely innocent at this point. Not to say that he wasn't foolish for some of the choices he made, but he is by no stretch of the imagination a criminal.
No.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
I don't think he addressed the cheating at all in that video, so...
He did.
He did.
Did he?
Well,
It was right at the end.
Minorly.
It was like out of the 45-minute video, it was like touched upon for like 45 seconds.
Yeah, he expressed that Holly didn't cheat on Ross because they were already broken up. And he expressed that he tried to leave his relationship with Heidi a while ago, but she didn't let him. She was manipulative and conniving the whole time.
Yeah,
And Heidi tried to, push it all on him.
Yeah, it sounds like their relationship was bad, and she was trying to make it as like basically what he said. People break up, and it sounded like he wanted to keep it under closed doors. And Heidi just was the one that just put on blast, saying, "No, I want to get you out of here. I want to cancel you."
And then there were also those two other Twitter users like Charlie and
Chai.
Charlie and Shy, who literally all they did was lie about Jared. They tried to paint him as a pedophile. All they did was take stuff out of context or leave bits out. And Charlie and Shy, if you two are listening, you're vile. You're scum.
I mean, Charlie himself didn't even have any evidence to prove what he did.
I thought they just falsified everything.
They falsified everything.
Yeah, anyway, Shy took things explicitly out of context to make him look as bad as possible, and Charlie just flat out lied about everything.
Charlie was the one that had the kind of like the condition, like the brain condition, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was conveniently around the time he claimed he did. Anyway, he and ProJared interacted, which...
I don't know, something about the brain condition kind of makes me think that maybe Charlie's misremembering things. Maybe it's a product of his delusion. Like, I can honestly kind of see him thinking that. Although I do think there is a possibility that dude is conniving, like he is planning with Charlie and like pairing up with it. I mean,
yeah,
I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt because they're conniving. I'm not telling that they are like despicable human beings. Don't get me wrong, but I don't want to have a angry mob going after them. That's like that's not going to solve anything. We need to stop doing that.
Yeah,
because that's what happened with ProJared to begin with.
Yeah, it makes sense though why he dedicated almost the entirety of the video to those allegations, because cheating, I mean, it's not a good thing at all, but it's not the worst thing someone could possibly do. Pedophile allegations, those have serious weight to them and are life-ruining.
Mm-hmm.
There are some people who have been falsely accused of being a pedophile, and their lives have been just destroyed. They couldn't recover. Thankfully, there have been some people who did recover, like Keemstar. He recovered from pedophile allegations when he proved they were false. Vic Mignogna pretty much proved he was innocent. So there are cases where they can recover, but it doesn't happen all the time.
It's tough because like not everyone saves their receipts like ProJared.
Thankfully, he had access to like an entire backlog of all the messages via the Tumblr page. Now, what I want to know is, why the hell didn't he address these pedophile allegations earlier? He could have stopped so much of his public damage if he had responded to those immediately.
He said in the beginning of the video he was talking to a lawyer, so I imagine that has something to do with it. He want to make sure. How do I say this?
Maybe he just wants to get out of the way as best possible and not wanting, because putting a word out there and then people would just take something the wrong way. Maybe
he want to make sure he was as clear and concise as possible with everything he did. Make sure he had all the evidence he could before addressing everything.
I don't feel like that would have taken 4 months. It took him 4 months to respond.
I feel as if there's a lot of things going on here. What most likely happened is he probably turned on Twitter and found an angry mob. It's pretty much like him opening his front door to an angry mob on his front porch. That's pretty much what exactly happened. And that's been what's happened for 4 months. It takes a while to get used to that and kind of survive from that.
So why didn't he try and, prove he's innocent faster? I mean, for God's sake, after 5 months, there's going to be people who only know him for this story, and they're going to go about the rest of their lives thinking, oh, that guy's a pedophile, and they're never going to get the full story.
I mean, those people will always feel that way. There are always going to be people that'll hate your guts. There's going to be people that feel as if he's still a pedophile, and no one will ever watch that video to save their lives. They want to feel that way, and unfortunately, that's how it is. The reason why he stated in his video, he was talking to a lawyer, and they said that the best course of action is just wait until you get all the evidence. Maybe it took him longer to figure out what's going on, and he wanted one relatively short, concise video talking about all the evidence and disproving everything instead of 5 or 6 videos, because most people, they will see the first video and they're like, oh, okay. They will either think yes or no, yay or nay, I believe him or not. But if it's a 6-part series, no one's going to follow up, or he's going to lose the retention of everyone by the 2nd or 3rd episode.
Yeah, no, I get wanting to be thorough, but you should also have some level of quickness to this. Because a part of the internet is going to think this guy's a pedophile forever. I feel like that could have been reduced even slightly if, I'm not saying he had to get as much evidence as he could together quick and then put it out. If he wanted to get as much evidence as possible, do that, but work nonstop until you have that. You want to have your name cleared quickly, in my opinion.
In a way, I felt like he did this because he was waiting for the hate to die down a bit, because we all know how the internet works. When you are just absolutely hated, people will believe anything anyone says about you. Even if it's false and has no evidence, people will believe it.
He could just be frustrated throughout most part of the 4 months that have occurred.
Yeah, but here's an example of people believing something that was completely false, but people believed it anyways because of how much they hated something. You guys remember the game No Man's Sky?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when that mess came out, a picture that was clearly fake, and rumors started floating around that Hello Games had abandoned their office and had just taken the money and ran. Now, that turned out to be false, but people believed it anyways.
Yeah, when people are angry, they're not going to listen to reason. So, part of me thinks that he should have came out with this sooner. But at the same time, I also understand why he came out now, because he's still fresh in people's minds. But the overall hatred has kind of died down.
Like, I think it is a great thing that he waited all out, because hard allegations have, I mean, they can cause pretty bad damage to one person, really.
I don't think waiting this long, like, I get waiting until the hate dies down some, but I don't know if waiting this long was the best way to go about it.
I don't know. I feel as if there might be some outside sources that he's not talking about. I mean, I know he was talking about how he's on an ongoing allegation with his ex-wife. So maybe that was preventing him from releasing a video. That's another
speaking of his ex-wife, you remember she was on Twitter saying stuff like I don't even remember what she said. It was a while ago. I do remember her, talking about that video in a negative way, obviously. And then she later admits, "Oh, I can't even watch it." Like she's just going to start talking smack and then admits, "Oh, I'm not even going to watch the video." Does anybody remember what she actually said?
I'm trying to find her Twitter account right now.
I mean, even then, since the video is released, didn't ProJared mention during the video that he still can find some evidence or any ways to back up, like, for some parts, because he was confused?
He had text logs, didn't he?
I think so, but no, it was like one part of the video where he's just confused on what the ex-wives are trying to claim. It is what I found during the second half of the video.
And another thing is, when there's just so much stuff being said and so much hate going around, it can be really hard to find out the truth when it comes to anything. I mean, I'm sure we're all guilty of, at any point, just kind of giving into the hate of these hate bandwagons. I know we're guilty of it.
Yep.
With ProJared.
Honestly, I kind of thought we had a handle of it, though. I didn't rewatch the episode, but didn't we just report on the facts, though?
We did. But there was a version before that, before he made his first statement we recorded that never got released, where there was no response, there was no counter evidence to anything that was going on. So we kind of said, "Oh yeah, Jared's guilty, definitely." Then he actually releases a statement regarding his relationship with Heidi, and then we realized, hold on, there might be something more to this. See, this is why I'd say get it out, or lay somewhat of a response out quickly. If you want to shoot out a quick response like Jared did, and then come back with a longer response proving you're innocent, that's fine. But you need to say something, because if you don't say anything, people are going to assume you're just guilty. See, Jared at the end of his video said, if you ever see someone getting canceled again, why don't you ask, what's the other side of the story? Well, people are going to want to look for the other side of the story. And if they can't find anything, guess who they're going to side with?
Right? So, let me just pivot to this question right here. Do you think that all the discussion videos that we're talking about, like the whole situation, do you think they were wrong for not reaching out to Jared for his side of the story?
It would depend upon when the videos came out. If they had, if it were videos that came out before Jared had released his first statement, then yeah, they're in the wrong for not reaching out to him. But if they see Jared's statement and they assume, okay, that's his side of the story, then I'd give them a little more leniency, because they probably assume that's his final statement or whatever.
What are y'all thinking?
I still think everyone should have reached out to Jared.
I do feel that people are wrong for not reaching out to him, because even ProJared mentioned, even showing the screenshots of the videos talking about him, that they have never reached out to him. Even Keemstar, which kind of surprised me.
Yeah, I was actually kind of shocked to see that, because Keemstar has a record of reaching out to people to get their side of the story, but not this time. I'm not gonna lie, I'm disappointed in Keemstar.
I don't know, like I said, it's easy to get all caught up in the hate and just, well, how do I say this? I guess blinded by hate is the right word to say. You're not really looking at the facts, you're just angry, and, well, you look for something to project that anger on.
That's 90% of Twitter right there.
Oh yeah, does Twitter actively does Twitter actively go out of their way to be outraged at things? Because it's
Yes.
legitimately seeming like that.
Yes, they actually do that.
There was a week time frame during a week. Every single day I saw something new with boycott. It was like boycott Olive Garden. And I'm like, why are we boycotting Olive Garden? I love their breadsticks. What's going on here? You click on it, they can. You
Oh
click
yeah.
on, oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I remember what Olive Garden was trending for. Apparently, the parent company of Olive Garden made a donation to I think the Trump campaign, for his 2020 re-election. Mm-hmm. That's it. And then Twitter was like, boycott Olive Garden.
Wasn't that proven false?
I don't know, to be honest.
Who cares?
No, I wasn't paying attention to it.
Well, yeah, because you don't have Olive Gardens in Canada.
Yeah, no, I just get the Canadian trending topics, which thankfully is a lot more tame here. You get stuff like Sands and Megalovania trending at the moment.
Hey, we got that earlier today.
Oh yeah, sure. And then there was the people crying over people making the Minecraft be into a trans flag. Why is that something to be angry about?
That's more like people are getting tired of all this like trans and all this pride stuff getting crammed down their throats. Like, they don't mind if like those people go off and do their own thing. That's whatever. You guys have fun. But it's like, if you're gonna force your ideology down my throat, then that's when people start getting, a little more irritated at it.
I don't know. I don't feel like it's something that's really worth being angry over.
Well, Twitter gets angry over it anyway.
Well, if Twitter's angry, then Twitter's angry.
So, Zeke, did you find Heidi's words, or?
No, I have not found it. I'll give it one more search. If y'all want to continue talking about the outrage stuff.
I mean, I'm kind of out of things to say.
Yeah, I can't find her, so it's not a big deal. I mean,
Did she delete her Twitter?
No, I think it's still around. I remember seeing someone retweet something she said or something. Basically, she's still trying to live off of this whole support that the internet's giving her, because the way she brought this whole allegation out about him cheating. Of course, everyone's going to be siding with her. It makes sense, and people are still siding with her.
I mean, let's just say what she's doing. She's playing the victim card.
Yeah, pretty much.
So yeah, that's pretty much it. Heidi plays the victim card and says she won't even watch his video.
And you know what? He did not make that video for all the Heidi fans. He made it for the people that just don't, the people out there on the internet that want to know. He's not going... anytime you make a change like that, you're not preaching to the converted. He's not talking to his fans that stood behind him regardless. And he's not talking to Heidi's fans who were standing with her regardless. He's talking to those that are willing to listen, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You can't convert everyone. I mean, yeah, he played, what one person on his comment section said, the world's greatest Uno reverse card. And if you look at his social blade, it is he's back up and going.
I'm glad. That's good.
Good for him. But for every success story when it comes to cancel culture, there is always a not so successful one. And I feel as if it's time for us to talk about our next topic.
We kind of already went into it, though, to be honest.
Closing statements on Jared.
Yes.
Welcome back. Next time something bad happens, you should try and respond a little bit quicker.
That everything?
Yeah, that for me. Anybody
and
else?
And also buy PeanutButterGamer a beer.
What?
Because he was getting dragged down in the muck too, defending Jared.
What, PeanutButterGamer? No, fuck that guy. He doesn't get a pass.
What are you talking about?
Have you forgotten what he did? First he defends Jared. He was in the right. And then he does a 180 and defends Heidi.
Wait, he defended Heidi?
Yeah, you remember? Didn't he? Remember?
No, he went to Heidi's tweet and said, "This ain't it, Chief."
Yeah, and then he backpedaled on that.
Yeah, he backpedaled it because that was a stupid tweet to say to someone in the heat of this allegation type thing. But
Okay,
he's
wouldn't
always
he-
backed Jared.
Did he always back Jared? Because I
Yes.
remember him turning on Jared at some point.
No, you're thinking of PeanutButterGamer, like turning his back on what's it called, John.
I don't know. I feel like there was something else regarding PeanutButterGamer with the situation. Okay,
That was
fine. You know what? I don't have any. Since I don't have anything direct in PeanutButterGamer, it's fine. Whatever. But I got my eye on you, buddy.
Hack, do you have anything before we move on?
Well, concerning the ProJared situation, which has been justified by the person himself, I am glad that he defended in the best possible way he ever could, despite being 4 months. But I think that's still good. And I will say, fans can literally ruin you pretty badly. And this is one of the examples of how it can damage you. At least your reputation, but even that's still bad. That's all I can really say.
It's dangerous being a figurehead on the internet because you're reaching out there. Like, he is a content creator. He's putting himself out there for attention, for all like the good attention, but also for scrutiny.
Yeah, and this is a thing I see with the internet. People just look for reasons to hate someone, and sometimes they don't even need a reason. They'll just hate them just because.
Mm-hmm.
People have always been like this. It's just there's now a way for these people to get voices out there, and that's social media.
And then there's also the people who won't forgive you no matter what. Like, you can prove you're innocent to every stretch of the imagination. They're just like, nah, I still think you're guilty.
Oh,
And, you know,
Or they'll
forgot
make up
why.
reasons that you're guilty.
no, you're not going to like please 100% of the people. You're not going to become everyone's favorite person. The sooner you realize that, the better off you will be. It's a sad, harsh reality, but that's just how it is. Anyway, let's move on to the next topic. I feel as if we should probably put a content warning on this one, at least on this topic, because we're talking about suicide, which is a heavy topic. So if you do not like that type of a topic, thank you for watching. That's probably what we're going to end this episode on. But we're talking about Zoë Quinn. She was I just realized they prefer the neutral, so I'm going to try to stay neutral. The neutral pronoun.
Why don't we just call her bitch?
I mean, that is a neutral pronoun.
And you call me unprofessional.
She literally caused someone's death. I really don't care.
Zoë Quinn accused Night in the Woods game developer and ex-partner Alec Holowka of harassment and abuse. So much so that he took his own life several days after the allegations.
It wasn't just that, though. It was first she accuses him, then he loses everything he had. Like, they fired him, they canceled his game, and it quickly built, and he couldn't take it, and he ended his own life.
It wasn't just that. From what I heard, his own game studio and colleagues they distanced themselves from him because they didn't want to be associated with him.
They immediately took Zoë Quinn's side right after everything came out, or all the allegations came out, even though she had no evidence. They took bitch's side. It's like, what can you even... Actually, you know, it's something I can say, you know. I know back in episode 5, I made a comment about, you know, Mike Machad deserving death, and I retracted that because I realized it was a terrible thing for me to say. But then there are people who are fans of Zoë Quinn on Twitter openly celebrating this man's death. He didn't have a trial. He didn't have anything. He wasn't proven guilty or innocent. And they're just like, oh, that piece of shit's finally dead and gone. It's like, you're heartless. You people are heartless. How could you say that?
It truly sucks. It's part of, what I'm getting out of it is it's just part of cancel culture. She had no proof, and yet everyone took her side. And they
her fans took her side.
Well, there were people who were not her fans also took her side. I mean, like his colleagues took her side over his. Based on what I heard, though, his colleagues were also Gamergate supporters, which honestly doesn't really mean too much, but I feel as if we should bring it up in the discussion just to kind of bring everything out. Like, Zoë Quinn is one of the first people to start the whole Gamergate. Are you all familiar with Gamergate?
Yeah, if I remember
vaguely.
correctly, it was basically somebody started spreading lies about a certain group of people in the gaming community, and a lot of them just responded like, "Who the fuck are you?" And they just went back to playing video games. But then some others like, "Who the fuck are you to call me a sexist or a racist or whatever?" Is that how it went? That's what I remember hearing.
Something similar to that. It kind of started with like a good idea, like most things. It started, I believe, as a women of video games, both gamers and developers. Let's stand together because we're not represented properly. It started off like that, and that's a good thing to stand behind. Have like some similar people together, and like let them feel empowered and not entitled, but empowered, you know. But then it just took a drastic turn because everyone else kind of saw it as, oh, what, you're trying to say that I'm a terrible person because I'm a male? Is that what you're trying to say? And then people started attacking that with like equal violence, and it became a mess. Like witch hunts started happening to the point where like developers would say something and it wasn't the exact thing they wanted to hear. So then they got witch hunt, or they were canceled, basically, or there were attempts to cancel them.
That's foul.
It's
really is.
sad because it started off as a great idea based on what I heard. Let me just double check what I'm saying.
Started off as a great idea.
Yeah, a lot of things do.
I mean, communism started as a great idea, and we saw how that happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, it became an even better thing, of course.
Nomad, it killed over 100 million people.
I'm gonna pretend I didn't hear that.
Nomad.
Oh my god.
Okay, let me see here. The Gamergate controversy stemmed from a harassment campaign conducted primarily through the use of the hashtag Gamergate. The controversy centered on issues of sexism and progressivism in video game culture. So I was half right. I didn't know about the abuse and sexism portion. Let me see here. Beginning in August 2014, the harassment campaign targeted several women in the video game industry, notably Zoë Quinn and Brianna Wu.
They're the people who were going around calling people sexist, and they're saying, "Oh, these poor people were attacked." Oh, give me a break. This website's probably biased.
No, I'm looking at Wikipedia, so anyone can edit it.
Of course, Wikipedia.
So yeah, take that in a grain of salt. Let me just try to
Femtards, stay off the internet.
Oh, I remember this as well. Basically, what happened was Zoë Quinn released a video game called Depression Quest, like kind of talking about her own depression and going through those portions. And it was released during the time when walking simulators, have you heard, like, walking simulators were hated on by gamers. And for those that don't know what walking simulators are, that's basically a game where you just kind of walk around a, like, pre-built thing, kind of like a house, kind of. And you're just, the story is kind of unraveled in front of you as you kind of just move around. You have really limited interaction with the world itself. So Zoë Quinn basically created a game like this, and a lot of people didn't like it. And of course there were terrible people that didn't like it because she was a female, and they didn't like the fact that a female made a game, like, oh my god, how dare a female make my game. And then there are other people that just said they didn't like the game. and it caused problems.
I feel like the latter was the extreme majority. The other people were probably like so small they were non-existent.
I wouldn't say non-existent because we all know
I said almost non-existent.
They may be minority, but they are always the loudest people, unfortunately.
Yeah, pretty much. That's why that's called the vocal minority. And it sucks. It truly does suck.
It's like they're the ones who everyone gets painted as just because they have the loudest mouths. But if it was like an actual big room, a big conference room, you would see how many people are just sitting there like, who the hell is this asshole shouting all the stupid stuff, as that one guy in the corner is just screeching, women made video game, me don't like.
So basically, to bring it back to Zoë Quinn. So yeah, she's had a history of stirring up controversy on the internet, because it said that
she's also had a history of blatantly lying.
Oh, she's had a ton of lying. I was getting to that though. I was about to start hitting her Patreon, but
ooh,
Patreon.
Have you heard about her Patreon?
I've heard of it. Yes.
Basically,
I gotta check right now.
I don't know why, but every single person we talk about has some kind of scummy Patreon where they take people's money and then run away. I'm not even joking. Basically, Zoë Quinn has created a Patreon where one of the stretch goals was Zoe would create a documentary series, pretty much kind of like talking about like being a strong person in the internet and how to become a better person, pretty much how to make a all that kind of stuff.
Sorry.
You know?
I'm sorry. I can't help but laugh at the irony. Become a better person.
It's been several years now, and there are no updates whatsoever about the stretch goal itself. There's also allegations that she has unpaid workers working, helping her with it. I believe, I cannot verify that. I remember reading that, hearing about this way before I really knew who Zoë Quinn was.
Also, if I can add, after she came out with these false allegations against that guy, supposedly, there's not much evidence to back this up, but the only evidence we have is that she made it non-public how many patrons and how much she's making on Patreon. Supposedly, it's because there was an influx of new patrons that came to her Patreon after she falsely accused that guy, and she didn't want it to look like she was profiting off some guy's death after he committed suicide.
I mean, that is a bad look.
Oh yeah, no matter what side you stand on, profiting off of something like that just looks bad for anyone.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
It truly sucks that this man took his life because of the fact that the internet chose to side with one person and all agreed to just start canceling. They didn't care about what he said. They heard enough from one person. It was enough of an allegation. They didn't really need the evidence, but she said it loud enough, louder than his rebuttals. So they took her side. And it just sucks that instead of fighting them like ProJared, he couldn't take it, because I feel as if it might be like a different frame of mind. Maybe that's why ProJared just decided to stay off the internet for 4 months.
Perhaps. If I can say, Zeke, I don't think it was that everybody took her side immediately. I feel like, what definitely happened, is that everybody that mattered in the situation took Zoe's side.
True.
His co-workers, his studio, all those people took her side.
Could be just a simple chain reaction, sadly.
It could have been, but even still, it was enough to get him ruined. And before he even had a chance to prove he was innocent, he takes his own life.
It sucks because ProJared was able to survive because he had a network of people. Like, he was talking about how was it the completionist that came over to his house to see how he was doing?
I think it was Ross, actually.
Oh, it was Ross. Okay, I knew it was someone who happened to be in the area and came to check up on him. And that does wonders for a person. And I agree with your statement. Everyone he thought he knew turned their back on him, and he had no one.
Plus, apparently, the guy was having some kind of issues, like it was depression or he had bad mental health or something like that. So it's he was already in sort of a bad state. This just kicked it way over for him. It really is
sad. And
I hope Zoe faces legal repercussion. I hope the family sues her for every single dime she's worth. I hope she loses everything because of this.
We can hope, but I don't think anything will come for Zoe, unfortunately.
That cannot happen. That cannot happen. There has to be some kind of recourse. God, I beg that the family sues her.
Really? Unfortunately, it won't bring him back, though. That's the thing.
It's not going to bring him back, but I just want to see some kind of justice happen.
Well, let me just put this aside with the whole Alec thing. Then we'll talk about the cancel culture. This is an interesting Facebook post he posted back in 2016, and it's kind of eerie how similar the events unfold here. Hello, I just turned 33. I wanted to take a break from frantically making music for my video game to write about this particular birthday. Eesh, it's been a bit hard to write, as it feels almost like coming out of sorts. For the good chunk of a year, I felt like I wasn't going to make it to 33. The last couple years were incredibly shitty. But what about them was so hard to get over? It's something that has been hard to explain to others, but I'd like to make an attempt at it. Have you ever had the feeling that your life is in danger? There may have been a really clear reason for it. Say something medical, or it could have been an assumption. Walking on the street alone at night and seeing a stranger come towards you. Your mind and body react in certain ways when this happens, like you get activated, put into survival mode. For the last couple years or so, I've been dealing with what is referred to in DBT therapy as distort belief. I am putting distort in quotes because even now I don't intuitively feel like it's necessarily all the distorted. It's certainly hard for me to think as a distorted because it seems as natural as anything else in daily life. I believe that certain people in the indie game community want me dead. Basically, he pretty much predicted this.
Wow. Oh my god.
Yeah. Well.
And when did he die?
He died a couple days ago. This was in 2016. He ends up saying, now what does that mean exactly? Does it mean that I think they're going to walk up and stab me in the back with a knife at some point? No. I believe they're trying to covertly hurt me and my career to the point where I'm driven to suicide.
Oh, gee.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Like I said, this is some messed up stuff.
Yo,
and I want to
if even a smidge of evidence comes out that might have been true, I think people are going to be all over that.
I don't know. It truly sucks because, like, I feel as if the internet is a, like, shoot first, ask questions later mentality, as of late.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And
I mean, you just need to look on Twitter whenever something like this happens. People automatically assume the person that shoots first is the one who's in the right.
Exactly.
And
I have a perfect
sucks.
example too.
Oh, go for it.
So I'm sure you guys have heard me mention the name Vic Mignogna a couple times.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So basically, his entire debacle, I'll say, was started because of a hashtag on Twitter put out there by Mars Girl, the same girl we defended in episode 5. God, I feel sick for ever defending a piece of shit like her, but that's besides the point. Basically, somebody before Mars Girl had tweeted at Funimation saying, "Funimation, why do you employ a known pedophile?" thinking that it was Vic Mignogna. But in reality, it was somebody completely different. It was somebody else. I don't remember his name, but all I remember is that it was one of Monica Rial's ex-boyfriends. She's one of the ones who accused Vic of bad things. Mars Girl saw that tweet, and she started the hashtag #KickVic movement. His career was ruined because of a case of mistaken identity. His entire 20-year career of working, voice acting, video games, anime, gone because somebody mistook him for somebody else.
And he voices
Broly in Dragon Ball Z, voices Edward Elric in Full Metal Alchemist. He's really famous. Mm-hmm. But again, he's ruined now, all because of a case of mistaken identity. It was all just shoot first, ask questions later.
And it sucks because of that. I feel like I'm gonna just talk like this is for everyone. I feel like if we can, I know we have like, I would say like 2,000 people that watch these episodes. Would you say? Like the last video has 2,000 viewers, right?
Okay, yeah. Let's say we're ballparking around there.
Okay, 2,000 to 3,000 people. If I can get one person to like stop next time there's a big public outcry, and just stop and want to know what happened, like both sides of the story, kind of like what happened with ProJared. This is a perfect example. Like everyone tried to cancel him. If next time someone is on the chopping block of some kind of allegation, I know it's tempting to jump in the bandwagon, like ProJared says, to kick the person while they're down on the streets. But stop and think. Try to do research. Try to figure out what is going on. Try to look into the backstory of the person who's like throwing the allegation out there. If we can make one person think like this, I feel as if we did a good job here.
Mm-hmm. We've definitely done a good job at that point, but how do we keep that going? How do we get others to, we gotta just get them to understand that it's okay to ask questions.
Well, then get the hell off of Twitter.
Yeah, you know what? That's actually a good idea.
I feel the viewers who are watching this, I see no one interacting with any of the people we talk to. Do not accuse Zoë Quinn. Do not join the hate bandwagon. I feel as if some of the stuff she does is for attention. Don't give Zoë Quinn attention. Don't jump on the bandwagon. Don't try to cancel Zoë Quinn. Let's start with that. I feel as if we're all guilty of just kind of like reacting to things. Like I'm guilty of reacting to anything Darkside Phil says, to be completely honest. I do not like him. We did a full half episode.
I'll fully admit, in the case of ProJared, I was guilty of jumping on the bandwagon when it was happening.
It happens to everyone, and that's the thing. If it happens to you, I apologize to ProJared if he's watching this. I doubt he is. I'm sorry that we help stir up so much controversy. The internet's a terrible place, but you know what? We can make our little corner of the internet better. What do you say?
I can offer a kind of perspective. I mean, I'm sure you all remember when I had that pathetic drama with the guy Dean from YouTube.
Yes.
Irrelevant.
Oh my God.
Yeah, irrelevant from RevTube. That's what I called him. Again, I've said this multiple times. I'll say it again. The entire drama could have been avoided if I had just ignored his first video. His first video literally wasn't anything that bad. All he did was he insulted my weight a few times, insulted how I looked and whatever. He looked stupid. He looked immature in that video. I could have left it at that because he'd already left a bad taste in people's mouth. The video had more dislikes than likes before I even publicly acknowledged it. But then I make a video criticizing that video, saying, you are a fucking loser. You're stupid. And you know what? You talk like you have a bucket of water in your mouth or something. I don't remember what I said. But then he makes a counter video slandering me.
Oh.
And, you know, to be honest, I'm partly to blame. I fueled the fire, and I shouldn't have done that. But I did it again because I had that mentality of I'm better than this guy. I can make him look like a fool. And I feel like that's one place where mob mentality can come from, when people think they're better, so they have, you know, the right to do this.
Exactly. I don't know. I feel as if it's better off just leaving crap alone.
Exactly.
How about we put it like this? It's like a museum. If you want to see it, go right ahead. I guess if you want your drama, you can kind of just see it. Watch your drama alert. But like a museum, you don't touch the artwork. So don't touch it.
But people are allowed to give their opinions on the artwork. That's the thing.
Exactly.
The best way is to really just kind of try to ignore it.
I say that's probably the best.
Yeah, take it from me. Sometimes it's best just to ignore it.
And does anyone else have anything to say?
I agree with that. Just ignore it and look at funny memes instead.
I like that.
Believe me, that's what I really want to do on Twitter, but I can't help but see people outraged at everything whenever I open up Twitter.
I know.
I just want to see funny memes, goddammit.
I'm not even kidding. I'm at the point where I'm done telling people to stop to follow me on Twitter. I'm just gonna be like, follow me on my DLive account. By the way, DLive TV, or DLive.tv/GameCubeDude100. You know, follow me there. There we go. Okay. Anyway, but yeah, I'm just like, I'm at the point where I can't tell my fans to go to Twitter because it's such a toxic environment. I'm just gonna leave the link there. If people happen to see it and want to follow me, go right ahead. But I've had enough. I don't want to send people to Twitter anymore. That's how bad it's gotten.
Hack, do you have anything to say before we wrap up?
I mean, I don't think I really have the most thorough thought about the whole the situation, how people really have their take on how people sort of a little bit of tease or hate on you, but you know, it could just be that people really have like they just really want to do some kind of justice, but it doesn't really execute well.
Yeah, people nowadays, they really want to fight the good fight, but they want to do it to the extent where they're willing to look at nothing and turn that into something.
They want to fight the good fight, but all the good fights are just about done.
So they make up a fight that they think is good. Well, let me tell you right now, your fight's not good.
I mean, I think we can all agree there's nothing wrong with wanting to fight for a good cause. It's just
people distort what they think is a good cause. And let me tell you all right now, getting someone to kill themselves is not a good cause.
Can I say, just retweeting this stuff on Twitter isn't actually doing anything to help?
Oh, no. People who just retweet and think they've made a big difference in the world, no.
That's what I did like last week. I did okay, Twitter, what are we boycotting? And I didn't get to do the final thing. I wanted to say thank you, Twitter, for all. I didn't realize how easy it was to boycott things. I could just stay at my house all day and boycott crap.
Yeah, you can sit in your house and not go outside because you weren't going to do it anyway. All these people who say, like, boycott Olive Garden, I guarantee you most of them probably haven't even been to Olive Garden.
Oh, they're probably at Olive Garden while tweeting out #boycott Olive Garden.
Nah, I don't believe that. They're all probably
something happened to the breadsticks.
I'm telling you right now, they're too poor to go to Olive Garden.
I was worried that something happened with breadsticks. I'm like, oh god, what happened? And then, oh great, it's politics. All right, so I think that's it for the episode.
All right.
All right, so GameCubeDude, you kind of touched on it. Where can the fine people find you?
You can find me on YouTube, GameCubeDude200. You can also find me on DLive, DLive.tv/GameCubeDude100. That's 100.
Oh,
Normally I tell you to go to my...
You're sticking your guns. I like it.
Hey,
Nomad.
I wasn't done. I wasn't done.
What? Okay, fine. What?
All right, you know what? Actually, I was going to tell you guys to follow me on Twitter, but then I remembered. Oh yeah, Twitter sucks. All right, Nomad, you can go. Yeah, I just wanted to make that joke, Zeke. Let me make my joke next time.
I want a pizza.
Nomad, where can the fine people find you?
All right, you can find me on Instagram. Link will be in the description below, I assume, and of course on my YouTube. Nomad now, no longer I'm nomadic.
Remember when he, was making fun of Instagram a few episodes back, and now he has one?
I've become the very thing I swore to destroy.
And of course he makes a Star Wars meme out of it.
Hey, it's funny because it's true, okay?
Hack, where can the fine people
You can
find
find me at HackGameX294. You can find it on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. Haha, Nomad, you have a Twitter or Instagram now.
Yes, I do have a Twitter.
All he does is post pictures of the sky, by the way.
Oh my god.
you? I mean, there are good pictures. I'll give him
Yeah,
that.
I post pictures of things I think look cool, okay?
Yeah, we get it. You like the sky.
And you can find me at everything, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, on everything at ZYoshiMan.
Well, hey, at least I actually go outside.
You want to fucking fight? You want to meet me outside? You want to fucking meet me outside?
If you can even make it there.
All right, guys, before... I'm
Just
gonna cut
tweet me
off
your
right now.
address or DM me your address. All right, I'll be up in Canada in about a couple hours. All right, get ready.
Okay, can y'all shut up? We're trying to end this thing.
He started it.
I'm going to end it.